Yes, my people, welcome back to another video and welcome back to the Glory Hunter Challenge. In the last episode, we got through in the FA Cup 5th round where we defeated Newcastle United 2-1 with that late winner from Harvey Elliott. Today, our attention does turn to the Europa League round of 16 where a win against Nice here today will get us into the quarter-final of the Europa League. Now, talking about quarter-finals, as you know, we beat Newcastle like I just said, meaning we are into the quarter-final of the FA Cup, and we have been potentially gifted a nice draw here as we face against MK Dons, while Chelsea have Man United and Middlesbrough have Coventry. So we could be looking pretty decent for the FA Cup here, as neither of these two sides are the best in the country. They are still obviously good sides, but if I could pick a final 8 teams, that's a good 8 teams to be picking. As just confirmation quickly of the Europa League, Forest have Bruges, Betis. At these two ties here, Lyon, Lille and Betis, Porto, good, getting some of the better teams out of the competition. But it is going to be a difficult one, as we also have quite a difficult task in Nice. So without further ado, whatever the fucking saying is, let's get into the lineup. We're not messing about here today. Our lineup is as follows. We've gone with Martinez in goal, Matty Cash, Concert, Pau Torres and Digne in defence, with a midfield 3 of Boubacar Kamara, Yuri Tielemans and the hero from last episode, Harvey Elliott. Morgan Rogers starts on the right. Jadon Sancho comes back in for Facundo Torres after that assist that he got for Elliott in the last minutes of the last game. And Ollie Watkins leads the line, looking for his 30th goal of the season. No injuries for us today. Facundo Torres on the bench, looking to make an impact off of it. And let's get in to this massive Europa League game where we take on Nice in France, and let's see how they will be lining up for it. Okay then, my people. The lineup that Nice have gone for today is a very defensive lineup, I may add. They've gone with Juff in goal, a back 3 of Jumabar, Bambito and Yamakwa, with Luce and Thiago Gouveia on as the wing backs, a midfield 2 of Boudaye and Van Hout, with Janssen on the right, Sofiane Diop, former Football Manager wonder kid, and Mohamed Ali Cho, another Football Manager wonder kid, leading the line for Nice. We are away, so as I've always said in these knockout games in Europe, just get a decent result away, a draw, a win. If you are going to lose, make sure you only lose by 1 goal. Just confirmation of the 2 lineups there. I would love to watch us walk out, but I have to skip it for copyright, as Cho gets us underway for this Europa League round of 16. We should be one of the favourites to win it, I would expect, but you never know. As we have a throw-in deep in Nice territory here. It's headed away, but only as far as Kamara. Harvey Elliott now, finding Jadon Sancho, who finds Digne. Digne finds Ollie Watkins! And it is 1-0. It's a really good start to the knockout stages for Aston Villa here in Europe, as Ollie Watkins gets his 7th of the competition. It's really patient play. Sancho does well to hold the ball up, and Digne with a really inviting cross in there, and Ollie Watkins is there to tap home. A deflection off the Nice defender, but we do not care, as it is 1-0 Aston Villa. It's a really good start and exactly what we wanted, especially away from home. As it is a good header away by Matty Cash, finding Morgan Rogers, who finds Harvey Elliott, who goes back to Cash. Cash now driving through, finds Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers just holding on to the ball, does really well and finds Yuri Tielemans, and it's just over from the Belgian. Morgan Rogers doing really well to pick him out there. as Freiburg find themselves 1-0 up as well. As does Roma, Utrecht and Bologna still level in their game. As it has been a very commanding start from the English outfit so far in this first half an hour. As Konsa finding Matty Cash, finds Torres, who then finds Tielemans. It's really fluid play by Aston Villa, and Morgan Rogers forces a good save out of Juff, who turns it past the post for a corner. Aston Villa looking to get that second goal just to take control of this game, as Nice have had more of the ball, but Aston Villa really counter-attacking well. As Matty Cash now with a throw, goes to Elliott, back to Cash. Harvey Elliott now, cutting inside, doing really well, and forces a decent stop out of Juff, but it is behind for another Aston Villa corner. As we approach the end of the first half, Roma up by 1, so are Utrecht, as Luce finds Bombito. Yamatko now, finding Van Hoop, who goes in to Sofiane Diop, who tries to find the forward run of Ali Cho, but it is the end of the first half here. Nice 0, Aston Villa 1. Aston Villa the dominant side here in this first half, and as we can see here, Roma find themselves 2-1 up. Utrecht 1-0 up against Bologna. This would be a good result for Utrecht there. Fenerbahce drawing with Freiburg, and of course Aston Villa beating Nice. Just keeping an eye on those games, as obviously we want the underdogs to be going through to give us a better chance of winning the competition. As I would definitely take a 1-0 win away in Nice to go back to Villa Park with, as Diop finds Cho at the back post. And Aston Villa defenders appealing for an offside here. I personally didn't see anything wrong with the goal, but it will go to VAR to check. And VAR confirmed that the goal has been disallowed. Definitely will take that. It's a let-off for Aston Villa. As we can see, he just makes his run. That was really weird. Why would you not just stay on side there? As Bologna have a goal back in their tie with Utrecht, as Fenerbahce get a second goal to make it 2-1 and get the lead in their tie. As we are playing well, as we approach the hour mark, just looking for that second goal just to ease the stress and worries in this game. Digne having a fantastic game so far, as Janssen pulls it back. Really good defending from Yuri Tielemans though, and Aston Villa can break now, as Tielemans finds Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins cutting in, finds Morgan Rogers on that far side. Morgan Rogers! It's a really good Juff save. Juff keeping Nice in this game here, but it is a Aston Villa corner. Jadon Sancho to take. It's a decent delivery, but it's headed away by Juma Bar. Elliott back out to Sancho. Jadon Sancho cutting in, and it falls to Tielemans. And it's another really good Juff save. And it is another Aston Villa corner. Digne, the man of the game so far, to take. Headed away by Bar. And it falls to Juff. And it is now a really dangerous Nice counter-attack, who finds Janssen over on this far side. Janssen cutting in and forces a good save out of Martinez, but it drops to Diop in the middle, and Nice are level. A goal that came out of nothing for Nice, but it was a really good counter-attack by the French side. I'm not watching that whole thing. As Ollie Watkins gets us underway for the restart. From what should have been an Aston Villa goal, as Kamara gives the ball away cheaply here, and Nice could be in front in a matter of minutes, as he cuts inside and forces a good save out of Martinez. Nice just piling on the pressure here, so in that last couple of minutes there, as we are going to go attacking, looking to regain the lead, as I need to wait for it to actually fucking thing. As we are going to bring Emi Buendia on for Harvey Elliott, who is not having his greatest game here. We're going to bring Gesand on, and we're going to bring Facundo Torres on, bringing the reinforcements on that we mentioned before the game, as Onana can come on as well. We'll leave a sub free just in case we get any injuries or anything. Juff having an outstanding game here today, as we're into the final 10 minutes here. Ali Cho with the corner for Nice. It's a good delivery, but it's headed away by Watkins, and Onana can now break for Aston Villa. Onana is going to have to go all the way on his own here, as there is no one helping him, but that doesn't bother him, and it's another good save from Juff. As Roma find themselves 3-2 up, Bologna winning their game as well, as we are going to go very attacking for the final 5 minutes here. As I've just seen that someone will be suspended for the second leg, as Digne with the free kick, and I believe it's just over, unfortunately, as we're into the final 3 minutes of injury time here. And it will end here in France. Nice 1, Aston Villa 1. And you have to say, I am quite disappointed not to pick up a win away here. But as Juff had an outstanding game for Nice, but I will take a draw going back to Villa Park. As Roma picked up a 4-2 win, Bologna found themselves winning after being down at the break. Fenerbahce getting the win as well. As attention will momentarily now turn to the Premier League, where we face Manchester United in the Premier League. I'll be back with the result of that game and the lineup for Nice at home in the second leg of this round of 16. So let's go and see if we can pick up a win away at Man United and get into the nitty gritty of this European tie and try and get the win and get ourselves in to the quarter-final. Yes then, my people, we have played the Man United game and we have sorted out the lineup that we will be going with to face Nice here today in the second leg. So, but I've also got another thing to show you. But before I do that, we did defeat Man United 2-1 with goals coming from Ollie Watkins and Boubacar Kamara. Ollie Watkins getting his 20th goal of the season. And as you can see, we sit third place in the Premier League, 13 points ahead of 5th and 15 ahead of 6th, meaning we are pretty much guaranteed Champions League football this year, unless we had a mega collapse, which is really nice. The thing I wanted to show you was the youth intake. As you can see here, we have David Reynolds, who has the potential to be one of the most gifted people. That's not even who it is. Oh. Anyway, we got ourselves our youth intake. We got an elite prospect in Mel Wheel, I guess is how you say it. A decent looking winger. Not bad for the future. 5-star potential, obviously. David Reynolds, a decent looking left back. Worth a lot of money, actually. And I'm actually going to quickly just make it so he can train as a left back. Take control of individual person. Like so. And then we also got ourselves Mar Madsen, a right back. Decent looking right back. Good tackling. And then Sam Snowden is just a decent looking central midfielder. But obviously these three here, definitely the ones that we are looking at and getting excited over. The lineup for today is unchanged with Facundo Torres from the Man United lineup. One change from the last game against Nice, as we've gone with Martinez in goal. Matty Cash, Concert, Pau Torres and Digne round off the defence, with Kamara, Tielemans and Harvey Elliott in midfield. Morgan Rogers starts on the right, now up to 20 goals for the season. Wanted as well. Facundo Torres keeps his place from Man United as Jadon Sancho was ineligible for that one. And Ollie Watkins leads the line for the Villains here today. It is level so far going into this second leg. So let's try and get the win and get ourselves in to the quarter-final of the Europa League. Okay then, here we have the lineup that Nice are going for today. They're going with Diouf in goal, the man of the match from the last game. A back three of Bar, Yamakwa and Dante, with Jonathan Klaus and Melvin Bard as the fullbacks. Looks like they're going more full strength, as I recognise some of these people more. They're then going with a midfield two of Budeo and Van Hoot, with Gouveia on the right, Diop on the left and Isaac Janssen leads the line. We are at Villa Park here today, so we will be looking for a win. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get that done and get ourselves into the quarter-final of the Europa League, as there is confirmation of the lineups. As Ollie Watkins gets us underway for this Europa League round of 16 second leg, As if we just expand this, Porto won 3-0, Lyon won 3-1, Forest won 2-0. They beat Stuttgart 2-1, and Roma already find themselves 1-0 up. We can look at that in detail after this game, where hopefully we come away with the win. As Concert finds Matty Cash. Matty Cash goes back to Concert. Harvey Elliott now, trying to find Torres, and does find Torres. And it's another good save by Juff, but the flag does go up. Torres was just offside. Hopefully we don't get another man of the match performance from Juff in the Nice goal. As Dante finds Diop, running at Matty Cash. Morgan Rogers covering as well. Morgan Rogers beat by Diop, and Diop finds someone in the middle, but it is back to Juma Bar, who's dispossessed by Ollie Watkins, who now can break with the ball. But we won't get to see it, unfortunately. As Harvey Elliott finds Yuri Tielemans. Torres now in the penalty area for Aston Villa. He is dispossessed by Yamakwa, who gives it to Janssen. Digne needs to make a challenge here, but he is beaten. And Janssen gives it to Gouveia. And it is 1-0 to Nice. A really, really fluid counter-attack by Nice to put them 1-0 up here in this round of 16 second leg. Janssen does really well down that right-hand side and pulls it back brilliantly. And Gouveia just has time to pick his spot and put it past Martinez, as Watkins gets us underway for this restart. As Torres finds Kamara. Can we maybe switch it? He gives it to Digne instead. Digne, can he put a good ball in the box? He finds Harvey Elliott, and Harvey Elliott is there to get his 6th goal of the Europa League campaign and get Aston Villa level, both in the game here tonight and on aggregate. Digne did really well here down this left-hand side. Harvey Elliott in absolutely acres of space, and he picks his spot and blasts it past Juve in the Nice goal. And it is now Aston Villa 1, Nice 1, but it is a Nice corner here. Jonathan Klaus to take. He puts in a good ball. It's headed away, but only as far as Janssen. And it's blocked, and Ollie Watkins can break now. And it is a 1v1. And Ollie Watkins is driving forward here. And Ollie Watkins gets the goal to make it 2. It's his 8th goal in the Europa League this season. It's his 32nd in all competitions, I believe. And Watkins wins the initial header. Janssen shot blocked by Yuri Tielemans. And Ollie Watkins then breaking free with the ball. It's a 1v1. The Nice defender nowhere near him for some reason. And Ollie Watkins picks his spot and blasts it into the bottom corner past Juth to make it 2. And he gets Aston Villa ahead on the night, and more importantly, ahead now on aggregate. Aston Villa 2, Nice 1, Aston Villa 3, Nice 2. A second goal here would be lovely. Well, a third goal really, but a goal to make it a 2-goal lead would be beautiful. As Digne finds Tielemans, who finds Harvey Elliott. Morgan Rogers now finds Ollie Watkins, and Ollie Watkins is through again. And I believe he blasted that wide. He did. It's uncharacteristic from Ollie Watkins from what we've seen so far this season. As Roma cruising in their tie. Freiburg 1-up against Fenerbahce, looking for a way back into that one. As Cash, bloody hell, as Cash bombing down the right, finds Morgan Rogers, who finds Harvey Elliott. Tielemans now, finding Torres, who finds Digne. It's really good play from Aston Villa, and Digne finds the bottom corner. And it is now Aston Villa 3, Nice 1. That 2-goal lead that I was looking for, we have now found. And it's really good play. Facundo Torres plays a good ball into Digne's path. It's an excellent first touch from Digne, and an even better second one to slot it into the bottom corner. A goal and an assist now for Lucas Digne. This has been a very energetic first half in this semi-final. Why do I keep saying semi-final? In this second leg. I think it's because I'm in the semi-final on my Liverpool save. As Harvey Elliott dispossesses and Aston Villa can break again. But Yamakawa wins the ball back for Nice. Janssen now finds Gavay, and it's just wide, but the flag was up nevertheless. As we are approaching the final 5 minutes now in this first half. As we go into the break, Aston Villa 3, Nice 1. Not had a lot of the ball here today, but we will not mind that at all, as we do find ourselves 2 goals up, both in the match and on aggregate, as we are counter-attacking really well here. Surprised we've had that little possession though, I won't lie. As Digne with the corner, looking for a fourth for Aston Villa, and he finds Pau Torres. It falls to Ollie Watkins at the back post. It falls to Torres, and it's blocked, but only as far as Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers looking to find Kamara at the edge of the area, and it's just wide from Boubacar Kamara. Ollie Watkins having a superb game here today, as is Digne. As we approach the hour mark, just half an hour still to play here, as it is another Aston Villa corner in the pouring rain in Birmingham. It's a good delivery, but Pau Torres just can't head the ball goalwards. As Martinez now with the ball in his hands. As Konsa goes to Matty Cash. Matty Cash now driving forward with it. Cash, what can he do with it? Tries to find Watkins, but it falls to Rogers. And it's just wide from the head from Morgan Rogers. As we go to the final 20 minutes here of this round of 16 tie. We are going to make some changes, as Digne is suffering with a bit of an injury. Having a really good game though. Watkins, I'm not going to bring him off. Or should I? No, we will bring him off for Gessan, just to get some fresh legs up the top of the pitch. Garcia off for Cash. Morgan Rogers off for Jadon Sancho. And we'll bring Onana on for some legs in midfield as well. As we go to the final 15 minutes here of normal time. Just to have a look at some of these other games. Roma look very confident. Fenerbahce look confident as well. As Torres with the free kick for Aston Villa. Could he go short to Harvey Elliott here? He goes for goal instead. It's just over from Torres. As we are into the final 10 minutes now. Nice took an early lead in this one, but after 2 really quick goals from Elliott and Watkins, as we were into the final 3 minutes of injury time. And that is game over. Aston Villa 3, Nice 1 on the night here, but 4-2 on aggregate, and we find ourselves into the Europa League quarter-finals, which is absolutely brilliant. As we have Fenerbahce in the Europa League quarter-final. That's not a bad draw to get, as attention now does turn to the 2 quarter-finals. But first up will be the quarter-final of the FA Cup against MK Dons, where that video will be going live at 1 AM, I do believe. So if you don't want to miss that video, then don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you're always notified when I upload a video. Don't forget to check out my Twitter, link in description. It's where I post all the time my live updates, when I'm going live, when my videos go live, confirmation that the video is going live in case it doesn't hit your sub boxes or your recommended on YouTube or anything like that. Also, don't forget to check out my Twitch. I stream pretty much daily. My Sleaford Town save, we started in step 6. We are now step 4. Having a really good run in the FA Cup so far. So if you don't want to miss that, then don't forget to check out my Twitch. Drop me a follow and come and say hello when I am live. And I will see you very soon for the FA Cup quarter-final. I'll see you there. Peace.